What's up YouTube? Long time no see. For a while now, I've been trying to get back into making YouTube videos. But wait a second, aren't you regularly posting videos on YouTube Shorts? The short answer to that question is yes. But that's not the type of videos I'm talking about. You see, I've been having trouble trying to get back into making regular YouTube videos, vlogs, information videos, whatever you want to call them. And like most scenarios when people feel completely helpless, I tell myself, I don't know where to start. And I also make many excuses to why I couldn't inch forward into the process, like blaming the editing software, needing a new computer to edit, and deciding what topic I want to talk about. And then that's when it hit me. Buy the new 2021 MacBook Pro and it'll solve all my problems. Of course, I'm just joking-ish. But just make a video. Make a video on making videos. And I realized that sounds pretty dumb, so instead let's make a video on why people fail to be consistent. By now you may be wondering, where did this epiphany come from? Well, like many good epiphanies, it happened totally by mistake. For those that don't know me too well, my sleep schedule is simply effed, and because I want to start taking my online coaching business more seriously, I decided to do whatever it takes to becoming more organized even at the most challenging level, aka my sleep schedule. And so the story began as I ventured into my local Indigo to find a book that helped me fall asleep. Since I'd be forced to get off my phone and be bored to sleep, at least that's what's suggested on Google, what I have not foreseen was that I actually enjoyed the process of reading. Not fiction, but books of the self-help genre, which is even more weird to say out loud. But there were a couple books I started reading, and the one book that stood out the most in particular was The Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now I'm not going to spoil the book for you, but essentially this book is all about building habits. I need to build a habit for making videos. Likewise, you may need to build a habit to get into shape or to whatever you need to be doing consistent to get better at something. And at the end of the day, I am a YouTube Shorts creator, so I'll be making this video in reference to my lifting journey. And to make life simple, let's just say you're watching this because you're trying to get back into shape. In the Atomic Habits book, the difference between first and last place of an Olympic athlete isn't the lack of interest in placing gold. All athletes competing in the Olympics set the goal of placing first, yet knowingly someone has to place second, someone has to place third, fourth, etc. last. And with so many competitors having the same goal of placing first, what does that really say about goal setting? Now, I'm going to give you a tiny spoiler, but it means that goals aren't the only factor of what makes a person more or less successful. In fact, spoiler again, what matters the most is the series of steps leading to that goal, of which is called a system. Now, I won't be going any more into that, and I apologize if you read the book later on and realized I butched up this part, and so you might as well check out the book The Atomic Habits by James Clear. The easiest way to get into something is just to start. Don't think of what you're going to be doing a year from now. Don't think that you're going to be a better person after achieving your goal. Don't look too far ahead, and don't overthink it. Don't think, just start. The chances are, one goal achieved won't make that much difference in your life. It also won't have that much effect in your life. In exception to a few like winning the lottery, then your life will be pretty sweet, at least from a financial aspect. But yeah, let's face it, it kind of sucks to achieve a goal. Think about it, how much time and energy you put towards your last goal. Now imagine hating that entire process that allowed you to be successful in the first place, of which I hope you didn't hate it, because honestly that's a lot of time and energy spent pushing towards something that you hate doing, and so you're wasting a lot of life. Now, if you've never heard of this quote before, I don't know where I got it. I heard it somewhere, and maybe I'll do a Google search and put it right here. But the journey is the destination, and a goal gives you a purpose. Again, because I am a YouTube Shorts creator, let's make reference to my powerlifting prep, last meet. Training for the big moment, meet day, gave me a sense of purpose with my training. It was a goal. I can confidently say that I enjoyed every part of training, in exception to the last two, where I felt like I wanted to quit lifting and not do anything related to powerlifting. But anyways, that's another story for another video. And so you might as well enjoy the journey, because the sweet taste of victory of achieving a goal is one that's short-lived and one that may not be what you're looking for in terms of fulfillment. Okay, so if I got a little too deep on you, I apologize. And if you're sitting here thinking, I was just interested in hearing what your training routine is like for motivation, know that all goals do not need to be nearly as intense as mine. For many individuals, the problem isn't the goal, but the execution. And so acknowledging that, should you push through what's mentally exhausting, even if it's for the short run, like an extreme cut, an extreme bulk, because you think you're going to be much happier at the end of it? Now, as much as I love strength training, I hate competing in powerlifting because of how physically and mentally enduring it is. And by the way, I'm not saying everyone should hate the process of competing. I'm just saying that everyone's different on what they're willing to give up for their goals. And so if getting shredded, getting jacked, you have to ask yourself, are the things necessary to give up to achieving your goals worth it? For myself, I found the last 2 weeks of prep to be a process of disturbance for my bodybuilding training, and knowing that the meet will come to an end and I'll be going back to my bodybuilding training after taking a fat powerlifting break, I was able to push through my goals, but it wasn't cost-free. Was it worth it in the long run? Yes, it was, because the accomplishment of being able to get mentally and physically prepared for the day of and breaking certain records was one that I'm always going to remember, and it only came at the cost of the last 2 weeks of prep. And in my case, the short-term pain, which wasn't really painful, was worth it. If you want to cut, bulk, whatever goal you want to set yourself to, should you do the same, even if you're taking the most serious approach to training, losing weight, gaining weight, trying to do things properly, not yo-yo dieting, but learning about macros, strength training, hypertrophy, resulting in you becoming slightly overwhelmed but learning a ton, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Yes, no, maybe? Are you going to burn out because you have such a strong distaste for how extreme you're going at it? Some people are more tolerant, some people are less tolerant. It really depends on yourself. How well do you know yourself? And to ask yourself, is the outcome worth it? Are you going to be sustainable in the short run and in the long term? If you decide it's not for you to take up this very extreme lifestyle because it'll result in burnout, know that you do not need to make drastic lifestyle changes to getting to where you think you need to be. And yes, unless it's temporary and has some value in terms of self-achievement, such as my powerlifting prep, acknowledge that the rewards may not be equal to that of the consequences of your major life changes. There's such thing as biting off too much that one can handle, and like food, take bites that are digestible, as you can always come back for another bite later on. Inch into the process. Don't throw yourself wholeheartedly in. You don't need to make major life changes to get remarkable results like the quote of this book. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like the video, subscribe. Peace out. And if you didn't like this video, I'll promise you this will be the last video I make like this because this was a lot of work to produce. Peace.